what a beautiful season we are in now. I want to say that Christmas is around, and we are feeling the aura. Welcome to Your Image, your public relations program on TV, the first in Africa, courtesy OGTV. Well, today we are looking into the impacts of public relations in the year 2024. It's been a wonderful season for public relations, thanks for the good vision of the PR practitioners, who's been led by Dr. Ike Neliako. And we want to see how public relations has impacted in governance in very many other areas, in the academics, in the social structures that we have found in Nigeria. And I have with me veteran professionals. That's talking about Dele Akishola, the PR expert, and former Deputy Editor-in-Chief of the News Agency of Nigeria. You're welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. And I'm saying Merry Christmas in advance.
Well, I think I cannot wish you less than that. So it's the same to you.
It's a season we need to release.
Yeah.
Well, I also have my brother, a colleague in the public relations profession too, the PR executive for the Ogun State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and who also doubles at the senior special assistant on broadcast and electronic media to the Ogun State government. If you're Kayode Akimbode, you're welcome.
Good evening, our veteran, our only fellow in Ogun State.
It is well.
Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you. Same to you. I believe you are bringing my turkey.
Of course, the bag full of goodies.
Maybe double turkey from you and from the Ogun State government.
Yeah, the government is capable.
Well, you are part and parcel of the profession, and we want you to look at how the dynamics has changed with the public relations practice. The policies that has been enunciated by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, how has it impacted? I want you to dissect the impact for us.
Well, I think the simplest definition of our profession is suffice enough for us to be able to have a clear perception of how our profession has fared in the last 1 year. Essentially, is the act of creating deliberate, mutual understanding between organization and the publics, both external and internal. But I do remember that when we have the NIPR week, one of our doyens said that was the finest moment of public relations practice in Nigeria. That was a clear testament of the fact that there seems to be a paradigm shift, one in terms of acceptability, two, presence, three, policy formulation that is in tune at recreating the narrative of our profession and, of course, the perception of our nation. In the time past, PR has existed. Our professionals have done enough. But I think with the coming of the Dr. Ike Neliako, who himself was part of the government, he had understood clearly the workings of government, his professional background. He was able to marry the two to ensure that while we have presence, we are very pushful in terms of the media usage, both the electronic and the print. Above all, he was able to secure that even those who are working as information officers in both federal parastatals and state government agencies are redesignated as public relations professional, because our job essentially is to create understanding between the public and the people and the government. So he's done a whole lot, and I think those things dovetailed to the state level. All thanks to you, because I do recall that I wanted to say that I wasn't going to be part of the executives, and I recall that you in particular said, look, Ife, don't worry, we want you to take this position. How has it affected us? It's very clear. It's perception management. I am in government, one of the spokespersons to the governor. I'm part of those who control the narrative and push the narrative of the establishment to the eye of the public. And I've been able to do it. One, you must have pedigree. Two, you must understand the job. Three, you must be character tidy to be able to push that profession. And of course, because I'm there and I'm a professional, the voice is respected and we are believable. So, fair enough, in 2024, I want to say that it's been one of the best years of prayer practice in Nigeria. I've highlighted it. And with the support of veterans like you, who are always there, I must also recall that in this year, someone like you, is not without patronizing you, has been very pushful. You have published PR journal, you have held events, you have done crème de la crème of the PR profession, we have discussed way forward for Nigerian nation using PR, and from the beginning of January till December, you have discussed PR solution to critical issues of nation building in agriculture, in education, in sport development, name it.
Politics.
In politics. So it's one of our finest moments, and I think I want to thank our national executive, and of course, the veterans like you.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a thing of passion, and if you are in a profession, you must be able to promote and engender an idea of nurturing the youth. Thank you very much. You are part of the youth, and you can see.
I think I've got passage of youth. I'm already in my 50s, so
okay.
So across the mark long ago. Because I look youthful.
Yeah. It's the PR impact.
PR impact. That's it.
Very actually. Well, we have said that there is a paradigm shift. What is the connect with the media, and how has PR been able to engage the media to clearly bring out the vision and then disseminate information appropriately?
Thank you very much. The paradigm shift we are talking about has really has had impact, on the practice of public relations, and with the rise of okay, let us even look at digitalization. Okay. Talking about digitalization, we're talking about the rise of social media and online platforms, which of course has helped PR professionals to communicate and then effectively handle reputation management. And so managing reputation of organization, managing reputation of the various offices of government, even companies, is being a lot better. Looking at where we are coming from, and if you look at the last 1 year or so, with the focused and let me say the purposeful leadership of the national president of NIPR, both in Ogun State here and at the federal level in Abuja, you could see that there is a kind of concerted effort, to ensure that public relations is used effectively, to communicate, and engage with the public constructively. Talking about the media now we can look at it from two prisms: traditional media, and then the social media, and then the online publications and all of that. You see, what the social media has helped NIPR to do, and particularly the online platforms, is that the traditional media that maybe we are not willing, to collaborate, to engage in collaborative partnership with NIPR, for effective communication. Of course, the online platforms and then the social media, they've latched onto it, and then so they have gone viral. So
with immediate, talking about immediate
the speed, of communication. And so the traditional media, if they don't want to be left behind, of course, what do they need to do is to be whipped online. And I want to say that we have also NIPR has also enjoyed collaboration, and there's what I call partnership with the traditional media, so that there hasn't been, in fact, let me say, we barely could see, there's a thin line even between, NIPR, public relations, and then the media, talking about it. But the other thing is that the public relations, like Ife said, the messages, it's a deliberate effort, planned and
Sustained.
for you to communicate. But unlike maybe the public media, the media at large, the traditional media and all of that, the communication paradigm is different. And so, but if you look at it very well, the image making, the image management of government and of the companies and all of that is being helped tremendously by public relations. Because without it, you see, without that public relations, which of course is not too, people in public offices are not too familiar with what NIPR or public relations is all about. They just think that it's just to talk in the media, talk on radio, talk on television, and then newspapers, and then they publish your stories. It's beyond that. And so for now, I believe that the awareness has been created so that we now have top players in government who are NIPR chiefs, who are now calling the shots. Talking of maybe Nigerian customs, for example, talking about Controller General of Nigerian Customs, Wale Adeniyi, who was and who is still anyway a PR, fellow of the institute. And then look, even the minister himself, the Minister of Information, Mohammed, is also a fellow. Yes, and then look at the Nigerian police force. For the first time, we now have a person in the PR practitioner, Lumuyiwa Adejobi, and each time, it disseminates information. Each time it communicates, it engages with the public. You could see the difference. It's like you are one-on-one with the people, and then you know what exactly to disseminate to them, and then there's also what the public also they react to such communication.
Yeah, thank you so much. Ife, well, you just mentioned the issue of collaboration and partnership. What has that done in giving a PR a mileage?
Well, it's done a lot because without competent professionals, without certified PR professionals, it might have been very difficult. When I came on board, I want to be very modest about my own contribution. In the first term of His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, there were challenges in terms of communication. And I think by divine arrangement, I was put there. Because I know the import of expectation as a professional. I knew that it must be a planned effort. It must be deliberate, and it must be sustained. I took it upon myself. I was virtually everywhere. PR is not about telling lies. It's about situating issues in proper perspective, and then ensuring that the people get a buy-in, and you take feedback from the people to work on it to ensure that there's a delicate balance with mutual understanding, and so that it can become believable, and then the government can meet the collective aspiration of the people. And I took it upon myself. And it got to a point like I did a magic. So the people were very hostile through phone calls, through reactions, but over a period of time, people began to believe me.
Because of it was event-driven.
Not just a one-off thing, not just going to tell lies, not just trying to push. And the government was very clear. Please, this is what we have done. These are the issues. And then what am I trying to drive at? It takes a professional who understands the language of the government and the background of his PR practice to be able to marry the two together and then communicate effectively using his professional training. And then how the collaboration comes in, because they knew that I am a professional. Now look at the Minister of Information. Over a period of time, he has collaborated with the National Executive Council of NIPR, and then a lot of programs have been put in place to drive the narrative of government using the PR platform. And that is why you can see that, a lot of hostility came when Ashwadu came into office, but over a period of time, the thing is gradually going down, thanks to the sustained effort of our veterans doing the job. So the collaboration is that there's a synergy between those in power and the PR professional, though it is still limited because just a few percentage of people in government still understand clearly what we can use PR practice for.
Let me ask you, with the new vision of the Institute, trying to nurture the youth, and then even connecting with the students of mass communication and populations in the institutions of learning, how do you see the future of these young students?
That's exactly what I would define as a defining moment of the Ike co-administration. During the NIPR week, a whole session was dedicated for the young professionals. And of course, students. Now, the essence is that they are exposed from the very early beginning to core values of population practice. And then they are being mentored. So those who would decide to major in PR from ab initio already have a defined purpose and life. Or like when we were studying mass communication, we were lost in between broadcast, print, advert. So we were just writing exams to qualify for all the profession. But some of us knew from the beginning that we were made for PR practice. And so it was just an easy way for us. But a lot of people lost their track. Some went into journalism, they were correspondents. As I talk to you today, all of them are scampering to come to NIPR, where some of us already become senior to them or the profession. So that moment was a glory moment for our profession, because we have a lot of, in fact, there was an event at Babcock University, which you went to, where students were already, inducted. And it's happening all over the country. In Abuja, in the East, those are the finest moments for our profession. And my son, who is just a 10-year-old who lives in America, will confidently tell his friend that my dad is a PR professional. That is the beauty and joy of our profession. We are not lesser to any other profession. We are repetition manager. And the beauty of all of this is that our profession is a management function. It's not job for the boys.
Well, thank you so much. Very illustrative. Dele, how do you see the academic content and the impact on the PR professionals? When you reflect, most of the people who are into the profession were not deeply academic. So what is the role research and academics are playing in molding PR practitioners and then making them to very deep in both theory and practice?
Thank you. What is good for NIPR now is that we now have fellows, we now have people who are veterans in this profession who have now made a successful foray into academics. We now have people who are professors in public relations, and then they are there now. And the last time I went to Lee City University, there is a former chairman of NIPR in Oyo State. He's now a professor in that university. He's Professor Tayo Adaleye. And in fact, he wrote a book. In fact, he gave me three publications, 2 of them books and then a magazine. You see, there is a whole lot of what do we call curriculum update. They've really changed, whatever we thought we learned we learned in schools in those days. Everything has been overhauled, and so there is a connecting with academics. And then so even like you first said, they are trying now to nurture or to catch these young professionals, to catch them young, so that what they are now learning, what they are now giving them, in fact, is something that we missed in those days. And I believe that the new set of PR professionals that will be churned out from this from these institutions will be the one to drive, the new vision and take NIPR to greater height. So something that is mind-blowing is the idea of engaging or maybe inducting these students while they are still in school, and it never happened in our time. Like you first said, some of us we blind into so many, we made portals into so many professions because we now find our way back and all of that. So what I'm saying in essence is that there's a lot of hope, because we now have PR practitioners who are now academics, who are now professors, who are now PhD holders, who are now doing the teaching.
Who have also seen the world.
Yes, seen the world. And they also, they are not only giving them theory, they are also, sharing their experiences, with them as PR practitioners. And so, the last time I went to that university, I had to engage with the students, and telling them my experience on the field and what NIPR is all about, public relations is all about, and all of those things. Of course, they were able to match that against what they've been taught in the classroom, and so it's so exciting to them, and they want other than the ones that maybe other journalists would be going after to see, we want to practice as a reporter, as news hands and all of that. But for them, they already have a clear-cut direction that, okay, they're going into public relations. So the curriculum, there's a change, there are a lot of change, from what we used to know in the past.
The curriculum has been
expanded and then overhauled, yes, with the academics, yes.
That's a new shift, a kind of a new thing happening, talking about storytelling. What do you want to say? How is it changing the scope and the dynamics?
You see, the beauty of it is that, just like Ebo said, the generation of young elements we have in prayer practice are quite very adaptive to the conventional and the digital era. And they are using both to control the narrative of storytelling. It's because the world is dynamic. Anything you want to do to enhance your profession must be IT driven. And the new crude is IT. So anybody who wants to be relevant in his or chosen profession must be IT 21st century compliant to be able to push what you're doing, because the world has become a global village. So the young element now have been able to use, and even core professionals, digitalization to enhance storytelling. It's the beauty of it all. It's the beauty of it all. And that's exactly what is driving us. But far above all of this thing, I want to say that the only fear that I have going forward is the vision that can be sustained by a subsequent executive of NIPR.
No, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
No, I just said, because you just said that these are finance moments. And we know that the biggest challenge, just like you're doing this profession, I know that you have at some point not sure people to take over from you. It will get to a point that you would have to step aside, but the vision of your image must not die. It is bigger than Akio Kudero.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you.
It's up to all of us.
All of us.
All of us.
Well, it's been a nice time relating with thoroughbred professionals and people who are also exposed and they understand the terrain. Well, we can't but appreciate the deepness that they have been able to narrate, and it is because they have also found a way to do research, to get engaged, and to get things done in the appropriate way, in the professional way. Until next week, when I have to be here again, I'd like to say a big thank you and Merry Christmas to you. Your message to the society.
Well, keep believing, keep hoping. Nigeria will be great, and Ogun State will also be better.
Dele?
Yes, what all of us are looking up to is for, both the public, the governed and the government, and then the public relations practitioners to be on the same page so that Nigeria can move forward, Ogun State too can move forward.
You are part of public relations. Be involved, be inclined. It is a way forward. Nigeria can only be proud to have thoroughbred professionals that are doing their things rightly. Until next week, I want to say thank you for being there. I'm your uncle, Akin Kudo. See you next time.